Hi everyone, this is my 15-day unit plan. The unit title is Allegory in Animal Farm. It is for an 11th grade American literature class. Goal number 1. Students will identify and analyze the allegory used by George Orwell in Animal Farm. Student learning outcome. Students will be able to demonstrate what allegory is. Learning outcome number 2. Students will be able to demonstrate how allegories are used in literature. Goal 2. Students will identify the use of allegory as a rhetorical device. Learning outcome 1. Students will be able to discuss what makes allegory effective. And learning outcome number 2. Students will be able to create a story, poem, or video using allegory. The intelligences that will be covered in this unit are verbal linguistic, interpersonal, bodily kinesthetic, intrapersonal, naturalist, visual spatial, musical rhythmic, and logical mathematical. The technologies in this unit are Movely.com, Pictochart.com, Powtoon.com, Screencast.com, Spark, AdobeSpark.com, YouTube, iMovie, Windows Movie Maker, and voice memos. And also there's a website for free instrumentals on SoundCloud, and that's for one of the activities. The Common Core standards are RI 11 through 12th grade 4 through 7, and RL 11 through 12.1 through 7. The main focus of content standard though is RI and RL 11 through 12.4, and that's determining the meaning of words and phrases as they are used in the text, including figurative and connotative meanings. The technology standards covered in my unit are ITSE.4b, ITSE.5a through 5c, and ITSE.6a through 6d. Materials used for this unit and that are provided is laptops and iPads and projectors for presentations, the cell phones to make videos, speakers and/or laptops, iPads, and also projectors. There'll be a voice recorder, but you can use your phone with voice memos. YouTube to present, Windows Movie Maker to create and present, and then iMovie to create and present. So procedures. In the classroom, the students have just finished reading George Orwell's Animal Farm. We read this book to help students understand how authors use allegory in In allegories, authors use one subject to represent another. This is the end of the unit, so students are able to identify allegory as a rhetorical device. For the next 15 days, students will create charts, short videos, audiobooks, and infographics to create their own presentations and short stories using allegory. The Day 1 assignment. Students will create a short story that properly uses allegory. The students will then act out and record their short story. Students can use Windows Movie Maker, iMovie, or any other video editing platform to combine their video clips into one video. Students may play the file or add the video to YouTube to present it to the class. Students will be graded out of 15 points. There are 3 categories. The students need to execute in order to receive all points. They are scored on properly using allegory in a short story, video editing, and overall quality of video. Receiving a 5 in these categories is the highest you can receive. The way I'm grading for this assignment is similar to the way I'm doing all the 14 other activities, so I won't repeat it every time. For day 2, when students finish their short story, they will create an audiobook for the class to follow along. Students may use any voice recording application to create their voiceover. When students present their audiobook, they will display the book on an overhead projector so that the students can follow along. The book must be created on a computer and printed. Students will be graded out of 15 points, the same way as Activity 1. On day 3, students are to create visuals using an infographic platform like Adobe Spark or Pictograph to tell a story that contains allegory. The story may appear in form of comic strip or a visual presentation. Students must read and perform their short story in front of the class. Oh, and I'm sorry. This covers for day 2 covers verbal linguistic intelligence, as well as visual spatial and interpersonal. Activities for day 3 cover visual spatial, verbal linguistic, and on to day 4 activity. Through analysis, students should be able to discuss how George Orwell uses animal farm to illustrate communism and events that led up to the Russian Revolution. Students should be able to analyze George Orwell's use of allegory and apply the same principles to their own group. They will present this in the form of a Powtoon, audio, or PowerPoint. The Powtoon, audio, or PowerPoint should be focused on discussing how Animal Farm is an instrument Orwell uses to illustrate communism and the events that led up to the Russian Revolution. Day 5 activity, students will create an infographic to discuss how George Orwell uses Animal Farm to illustrate communism. Infographic will focus on how Animal Farm reflects events leading up to the Russian Revolution. They are scored on properly discussing the use of allegory in Animal Farm, aesthetics of infographic, and overall presentation. And because I'm running out of time, I'll scroll to the bottom just so as if you want to look at the activities, you can go ahead and pause it and read them. Here's day 7, day 8, day 9, day 10, day 11, day 12, day 13, day 14, day 15. And this is the rubric for the video that they can act out, as well as the infographic. The other 2 assessment rubrics are similar. Thank you.